With Link's Awakening being released on the Switch not a week ago, Zelda fans all over the world are being introduced or reintroduced to the special world of Koholint Island. If you spend 5 minutes online searching for videos or Let's Plays about the remake, you'll see one word in particular come up quite a bit, and that is C-U-T-E, cute. It's no secret that Nintendo has simply outdone themselves this time around with the remake of Link's Awakening featuring a completely revamped art style of cute, clay-like chibi appearances for all the characters and enemies. In a cute game filled with cute monsters and even cuter people, one character in particular stands out above the rest of them, and that is the first character you see in-game after Link's shipwreck. If you've ever heard of Link's Awakening, you've heard of the strangely familiar Marin, the sweet seaside girl who's obsessed with singing, seagulls, and maybe even Link, and who's also, oddly, the only one aware of the fact that there's a world outside the island. But now's probably a good time to say if you haven't played the game yet and care about spoilers, be warned that from this point forward in the video I may spoil quite a bit of plot for the game. So if that's you and you don't want to hear it from me the first time, go play the game! And after you've had a great run through it, come back here and listen to my theory about who and what she could actually be. Alright, now that the warning's out of the way, without further ado, here we go. So to recap Marin and the events of the game, basically for the majority of Link's adventure, Marin can be found next to the weathercock singing a very ominous yet very soothing tune, the Ballad of the Windfish. This is peculiar when you understand just what that song means and how it's used in regards to Marin and the island itself. At the southern face shrine in the game, it's revealed that the entire Koholint Island is but an illusion. Check it out. To the finder, the Isle of Koholint is but an illusion. Human, monster, sea, sky, a scene on the lid of a sleeper's eye. Awake the dreamer, and Koholint will vanish much like a bubble on a needle. Castaway, you should know the truth. This is written in the exact same text style that we later see the Windfish himself speaking in, giving the impression that this shrine holds a message directly from the Windfish to the castaway, also known as Link. After Link defeats the final nightmare within the egg itself, he plays the ballad once again at the end of the game to awaken the Windfish and himself, and thus wipe away the dream of Koholint Island, along with all its inhabitants. Bringing this back to Marin, it's rather odd that she would instinctively know this fateful tune, being an inhabitant of the dream herself, unless, of course, she was from someone else's dream. But I'm getting ahead of myself. As I mentioned before, Marin is a character that is all too familiar to fans of the Zelda franchise. She's a red-headed girl who wears a dress and enjoys singing, who lives with her father, whose name, Tarin, is only one letter different than her own and begins with a T instead of an M. Another recurring character we see in the Zelda universe is Malon, the farmer girl most known from Ocarina of Time. And, by the way, if you've watched much of my stuff here at Masked Nintendo Bandit, you'll realize I refer to Ocarina of Time a lot. But anyway, Malon from Ocarina of Time is also a red-headed girl who wears a white dress and enjoys singing. She lives with her father, Talon, whose name is also very similar to her own but begins with a T instead of an M. It's obvious that Marin and Malon bear uncanny resemblances. Even their fathers, Talon and Tarin, are both oddly similar to Mario, who of course is from the Mario franchise. So why am I pointing out all these similarities? Well, I tend to believe that this is no coincidence. If Nintendo wanted to make a Malon or Marin character again, they would have just put her in the game. Nintendo have no problem with recurring characters of the same name, like Beetle, for instance, who appears in Wind Waker, Skyward Sword, Breath of the Wild, and more, or even Zelda and Link themselves. But yet, Marin, being basically the same character, is distinctly not Malon. So why did Nintendo make her instead of Malon? Or vice versa? The answer, I believe, is twofold. One, this is not Hyrule, or even the same reality as Hyrule. As mentioned before, and as you already know if you've completed the game, Koholint Island doesn't actually exist. Not in real terms anyway. It's stated that at the start of the game, Link was traveling by sea back to his homeland of Hyrule after training abroad in distant lands, which is when he shipwrecked in a storm and woke up inside the dream on the island. Link wasn't even in Hyrule when he entered this dream world, giving it no connections whatsoever. So Malon appearing in a reality other than that of which we normally experience Zelda games in is the first reason. The second reason will also require some explaining. Unlike every other inhabitant of Koholint Island, I believe that Marin does not originate from the dream of the Windfish. Marin originates from the dream of Link, the castaway, the other dreamer. Think about it. She's the only one who not only understands there is land beyond the sea, but also has a desire to leave. Much like Link desires to wake up and leave, she also has that surreal knowledge of the windfish and the one song that will cause him and Link to awaken and subsequently her entire reality to disappear. But she doesn't seem very disturbed by that. She also has a certain interest in Link, who most fans would like to find romantic in nature. And in the segment of the game where Marin follows Link around, she acts as Link's inner thoughts, scolding him for hitting a cuckoo, but then mumbling the infamous line of, "Ha ha ha, do it, do it, do it more!" if Link continually chops away at a cuckoo, signifying that she reflects what is inside Link's inner mind. After the dream has ended, Marin is also the only character that Link actually sees outside of Koholint Island. All of this means that she actually didn't originate from the windfish's dream, but from Link's. And with her eerily accurate similarities to Malon, I think it's rather obvious that Marin is a memory echo of sorts of Malon. But here's where things get pretty speculative. If we look at the timeline closely, we see that this is indeed the same Link from the game A Link to the Past. What we also see by this information is that this Link hasn't ever met Malon, who appeared in Ocarina of Time. So how then could he dream up Marin if he's never met Malon? While this is, as previously stated, simply speculation, I think that Marin is a spiritual echo of Malon. It's a common belief that the Link from Ocarina of Time ended up with Malon from Ocarina of Time. Some evidence for this could be that his direct descendant, the Twilight Princess Link, is a farmer that already knows Epona's song, which is a song that Malon taught to Ocarina of Time Link that her mother created. Since all Links share the same spirit of the hero, regardless of if they're related by blood or not, they are all connected spiritually. It's possible that Malon loved the hero of time so much that her spirit bound itself to his eternally, to keep watch over him. This gives Marin's favor towards Link in Link's Awakening some deeper meaning as well. Another possibility is that while this still could be a romantic infatuation of sorts with Link, if she did indeed marry the hero of time and become an ancestor to future Links, it could also be viewed as somewhat maternal. She calls him a sweet boy and wants to know more about him, and also teaches him the song that will ultimately save his life from drowning at sea. These are also things that a mother would do. This theory also leaves room for the fact that when Link thought her up in his mind initially, he gave her Zelda's facial features, since he's never met Malon before. Another reason why Marin originated from Link and not the windfish. So, is Marin an echo of Malon? I think so, but what do you think? Comment below with your thoughts and findings, and let me know if I missed anything that would change my thesis. I gave you guys a teaser picture a couple days ago and man was it solved quickly, but the win goes to Cage23 who guessed it right off the bat. So Cage23, congratulations. If you're watching this right now, give us a comment below proclaiming your victory. I'm gonna have to start making these teasers a bit more difficult in the future. Thank you so very much for watching my theory. If you enjoyed this content, please leave a like so that it can get spread around on YouTube and help the channel out. If you love Zelda, which a lot of smart people do, check out all my other theories and top 10 lists about the franchise and subscribe if you haven't already for all my new Zelda content in the future. Huge thank you as always to all my amazing Patreon supporters, including my newest supporter, Chris Simpson. I'm always eternally grateful for all of your support and hope to continue improving and impressing you with my content. Feel free to check out the links in my description to check out my Patreon page and join my Discord server full of the finest of Zelda fanatics. I think that's about all I've got for this video, so once again thank you ever so much for watching. I'll see you all next time. This is Masked Nintendo Bandit signing out. Peace!